Hi, welcome back to Just Right of Center. I'm John, and I have no idea what I want to talk about today. There's so much crap going on in the world. I just don't know where to start. It's overwhelming. All the crap going on in politics, all the crap going on in the economy, the prices of everything. It's so overwhelming. I don't know where to begin. So I decided today I was going to talk about something that's near and dear to my heart, something that means a lot to me, and something that, as time goes on over the next couple months, is going to become even more near and dear to my heart: college sports. Now, last week, President Trump signed an executive order to establish a task force to look into the name and likeness agreements, the NIL agreements that they have in college sports, in an attempt to save college sports, to improve the equity, the equitable distribution of the funds through these NIL agreements. And you know what? I agree with that. I think it's something absolutely needed to be done or needs to be done to get this in control. Now, let me start by saying I am a full supporter of the name and likeness agreement. I think that these kids need to be compensated for the work that they do because they are the ones who are doing all the work. I mean, for decades, the universities and the networks and companies are making millions and millions, probably billions of dollars off of the work that these kids are doing, and they got nothing. So they came to their senses and they did start compensating these kids. The problem is that they implemented this NIL program with absolutely no guardrails, no guidelines. And it created this, I don't even know what you want to call it. There's so much money out there that's getting thrown around at these kids, and it needs to be controlled because it makes no sense. You've got kids who are making millions and millions of dollars who have never taken a snap, never played a down in the NFL. They've never hit a ball or thrown a pitch in the Major League Baseball. They've never taken a three free throw or shot a 3-pointer in the NBA. Yet they're making millions of dollars. They're making more money than some of the people who are actually playing pro ball. And there's something wrong with that. There is something terribly, terribly wrong with that. So, as this task force is going in and looking at how they can improve the NIL agreements, I have a couple of recommendations, a couple of things that they may want to look at and consider as they're doing their investigation. Now, you may not agree with my recommendations, and that's okay. But you know what? There's nothing wrong with talking about them anyway. My first recommendation is this: if an athlete signs an NIL contract, then he cannot sign another one. If he signs one NIL contract, he cannot go sign another one somewhere. For example, let's look at Carson Beck, the quarterback from the University of Georgia, had a multi-million-dollar NIL contract while at Georgia, driving around the area in his Lamborghini SUV because he can. Now, I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all because they offered him the money. If they're going to offer you, if they'd offered me the money, I'd take it too. But unfortunately, nobody did. But they offered him the money and he took it. Good for him. I wish I could drive a Lamborghini SUV. The problem for me is that he recognized that he's not a top tier quarterback. He recognized that he still has a lot of development. He has a lot of skills that he needs to develop further if he's going to be a quality quarterback in the National Football League. So what does he do? He transfers to the University of Miami, where he gets another $4 or $5 million NIL deal. What the hell is up with that? That's wrong. I think that the NIL deals that the students sign, that the student athlete signs, they have one opportunity. They sign it with that particular university. If they choose to transfer, to another university to develop their skills and make themselves more marketable. More power to them. But there is no new NIL contract allowed. What they're doing, one of the things that this has caused is a complete lack of loyalty to the university that signed them, that brought them in, that gave them that initial chance, that initial scholarship to play college football. The kids are chasing the money now. They don't have the loyalty that they used to have when they just played for the university. You know, if you've gone to college, heck, it's even similar in high schools. The school that you attend, that you spend all that time with, making your friends, you know, dedicating so much effort into getting through that school. And I assume it's even more effort if you're involved in the athletic programs. But all of those efforts, you build this bond with people. You build a bond with the university. You have this pride that you carry with you all the time. And when you transfer to another school chasing the money, you're not building that same pride. You're not building those same relationships with the university that they used to have. And I just find that to be wrong. So the bottom line to me is if you sign an NIL contract, then you can't sign another one at another university, period. The second recommendation I have, now this one's a little touchier. The second recommendation I have is that anyone who signs an NIL contract above a certain amount, I don't know what that amount is. We'll let the investigators figure that out. But if you sign a lucrative NIL contract, you lose your scholarship. If you're making millions and millions of dollars, then you can afford to pay for school. Now that scholarship doesn't disappear. The scholarship gets transferred. It becomes a an academic scholarship, or even better yet, a hardship scholarship. That athletic scholarship becomes a hardship scholarship that allows another kid who would otherwise not have the opportunity. It allows another child the opportunity to go to college, to get that college education. Think about that. You've got a multi-million dollar contract for one kid who can afford to pay for school. Let him pay for it. Take that scholarship, give it to somebody who can't afford to go otherwise for whatever reason. And now that child gets to go to college as well. That will absolutely help the student. It'll help the university, and it's going to be beneficial for everybody. Okay, maybe it's not quite as beneficial to the student athlete because he's got to pay for school, but you know what? He can afford it now. He can afford it. So let him go ahead and pay for the school and transfer that scholarship to somebody um, in a hardship. My third recommendation is dealing with the equitable part of my third recommendation is to ensure that the my third recommendation is to ensure that there is an equitable distribution of those funds. So if a student athlete signs a multi-million dollar, an extremely lucrative NIL deal, part of that deal needs to be put into a kitty that is distributed to the other sports in the university. Now, we all know that college football is the cash cow. College football is the moneymaker. It's the breadwinner. That is where all the money comes from. And that's, where the athletes are getting the most money. So a portion of every one of those NIL scholarships, a small percentage, needs to go into a kitty that gets distributed to the other students playing in the other sports to help keep them involved, to keep it fair, to give them an opportunity to excel in their sport as well. It may go to the student athlete in the other sports. It may go to the sports themselves to continue the development and build the foundation of those sports. But either way, those kids who are making those big bucks in college football should be contributing back to the university to provide benefit to the other student athletes. Just a thought. So those are three recommendations that I would love to have that task force consider as they're looking into how to improve the NIL agreements in college football. Now, the other issue in college football is the transfer portal. I'm not going to talk about that today because that's a whole different episode. The transfer portal and the NIL have combined and worked together to decline the quality, the quality feeling you get when you're watching and or participating in college sports. The quality of the product is still good. I mean, I love college football. I will not stop watching it, but we need to do something to bring that the drive, the love, the loyalty, the excitement back for each university. And I think implementing some of these recommendations might be beneficial, not just for the athletes, but also for the non athletes, for the university, and honestly, I think for the country as a whole. So if you agree with me, that's fine. If you're a student athlete, you probably don't agree with me if you play football. If you don't play football, you might agree with me. There's a much better chance because you might benefit from this as well. But let me know what you think. Let me know if you think these are good recommendations. Let me know if you think these are good uses of some of the NIL money that is coming in. Let me know if you think they're terrible ones. Also, let me know if you have any better ideas. Because as we've seen, if we just allow the government to make all the decisions and determine all the actions that are going to take place, we're probably going to get screwed in the long run. We're not going to get a product that we really enjoy. So let's go ahead and put our heads together and come up with some ideas that can make this whole NIL program better. Now, let's not get rid of it completely because the kids deserve something, but it can be a lot better for everybody involved. Talk to you soon.